So it is the evening of Super Bowl, and I got back to my parents' house, went out there to watch the game and eat a ton of food. I had a little over half a bottle of wine, too. So I took a little bit of a nap, and while I was napping, I missed the halftime show. But I have had a chance to watch it and comment on it, and we'll get to that in just a second. But first thing I want to say is that when I started this up a little over a month ago, I really did not want to get political. And then what has happened is there's just been this series of events that have really lit a fire under my ass and pushed me to wanting to comment more and more on the things that are going on politically in this country. And I would be remiss and not representative of who I am if I did not say something. Now, I've done this in the past. I've had other channels. There's one called The Daily Octane that is still up and running, and you can go back there and look at videos that I posted during the pandemic. Also, at that time, raging against Donald Trump. This seems to be a habit of mine. But there is a phenomenon that I experienced during that period of time, and I'm starting to now hear it again and see it again. That was my dog. Man, they get angry. The MAGA folks get angry. And I recently saw a video that somebody had produced talking to a psychologist who studies something called Extinction. I forgot the term, extinction or eruptions or no, extinction burst. That's what it's called. It's a psychological concept for when people are pushed and pushed and pushed to the brink on some kind of a concept, and yet they cannot get what they want out of it, like children that aren't getting what they want. And eventually, as they realize that they cannot win, that it is inevitable that they are going to lose, that they have tried everything that they can do to get what they want without getting the reward, they have a tantrum, and they stop understanding like truth, and they refuse to concede. But then eventually, that extinction event occurs, they collapse and then find acceptance. And that we are right now in the tantrum stage of that concept right now with the MAGA folks. And my God, I posted something about Trump derangement syndrome the other day. I posted a longer video, which you may have watched, but I also posted a short. The short, I take that back. It was my main video, the 9-minute video the short got a lot on TikTok, but the main video on YouTube, these are the comments. Now, I'm not going to go through here and read all these, but if you want to go to that video, I'll link it in the description below. There are a lot of comments here. Now, the video that I was talking about, one of the essential moments points that I made was that Trump derangement syndrome is actually a product of the right. They're deranged in their view of Donald Trump. We are having, and my point was that the rest of us collectively are having a normal reaction to an abnormal situation, is essentially what they want to believe that Trump derangement syndrome is. And so I encourage you to go look at these. And they're all saying the same thing. Oh my God, dude, you got Trump derangement. It's totally you. You've got it. It's you. Like, that's what essentially every single comment says. Now, another thing, and for the sake of I don't know, any kind of legal issues that may come up, I'm not gonna mention this person's name, but there is somebody that I've known for nearly 30 years. Never was really a friend. I knew him as an acquaintance. I worked with him at one point in time. To be honest with you, he was always kind of a pompous asshole anyway. We have not been friends on social media for a long, long time, but we had a messenger string at one point. He has been obsessively watching my videos and throwing me messages on Messenger, on Facebook, and to the point, and then commenting on things. He has this delusion of something I may or may not have said about Charlie Kirk when he was assassinated, with screenshots, and I still stand by the words that I said, because my point was not that I was endorsing what happened, but rather asking the question of how we got there, and is it morally right or morally wrong in the eyes of the people that are perpetrating a revolution? It wasn't about my views. I was asking a philosophical question. I am a student of philosophy. It is my major. Almost everything that I do now is done through a philosophical lens. And I was just putting my thoughts out there. They weren't my beliefs. I wasn't condoning. In fact, I was more condemning than anything else. So anyway, he has been commenting ceaselessly on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook. I've had to block him on everything. To be a 50-something-year-old man and having that kind of behavior, the messages that he sent me. Again, I'm not going to show him because for whatever, privacy reasons, I don't want to do that. But I told him at one point, I'm like, you are literally acting like a 12-year-old bully, like a child. Like, I am a grown-ass man. You are a grown-ass man. And you're going to send me messages that are basically like demeaning me and like trying to pick a fight and like calling names like a child. Now, I may tell somebody they're a buffoon or an idiot or even a moron, right? But that's not the same as like the I am, I'm rubber, you're glue, like literally throwing things right at me like that. It was pathetic. Anyway, I am off the subject. The last thing I want to talk about tonight, because obviously it's important to what's going on in the world right now, the halftime show. The Super Bowl halftime show did happen. I did not watch it live. I was taking a nap because I've had a headache for days. I've got a horrible elbow thing going on right now. Anyway, with the wine knocked me right out. I woke up. The first thing I did though was watch that halftime show. First of all, the talking points, their alternative halftime show with Kid Rock, I guess it was. I have not watched it. I will not watch it. I've said multiple times I won't even watch it on a repeat on a social media platform because I don't want to give it any engagement whatsoever. But it's Kid Rock. How good could it possibly have been? I do know that multiple streaming platforms would not let it play because of licensing problems. So that's hilarious. But the Bad Bunny halftime show was incredibly entertaining. As I said on Facebook, I did not understand a word of it. But at the same time, and actually, I'm going to let my own words speak for myself. Basically, what I said was, I got to find my post here. Here we go. Could I understand the words? Nope. But did I get the message? 100%. I thoroughly enjoyed the halftime show. I enjoyed that more than I enjoy most Americans I meet. Bad Bunny's intent was clear. His depiction of Puerto Rican culture was pure. It was, more than anything else, American. It strived to be the ideal that we have so desperately lost in this country under divisive leadership and 24-hour news networks funded by oligarchs. Community, culture, and love. That was the anthem of that halftime show, and at least 1/3 of Americans had it fly right over their head because all they heard was noise and all they saw was brown. And of course, I had to throw in there, and Ricky Martin is still hot as fucking 54 years old. I am not even a gay man, but that man is in really good shape for his age. But regardless, if you didn't see it, one of the things that was that blew my mind, he posted, he lifted this football up at the end. Together, we are American. As he was finishing up the end of the performance, he called out the name of every Western Hemisphere country, basically every Latin American, Central American, and North American country. Name them all because, through the eyes of those of us that believe in the right things, we are all one civilization. Do we have slightly different laws, slightly different borders, slightly different cultures? Yes. Yes, we do. But instead of being divisive and tribalistic and trying to separate ourselves and find the things that are different, we can recognize the fact that we are all humans. We are still in a competition. It doesn't have to be kumbaya. You still can strive to win at the game of life, but that does not have to be at the expense of others. It does not have to mean that we put people in prisons for doing absolutely nothing wrong and sending them to countries they're not even from. It doesn't mean that we have to shoot people in the street because they're standing up for what's right in this country. And it doesn't mean that we have to hate the people of another nation or the people of an actual U.S. territory that are citizens of this country because they don't speak the language we speak, because they aren't the same color as we are, because they don't eat the same type of foods or wear the same type of clothing or celebrate in the same way that we do. So because your small mind and your lack of culture and your lack of experience cannot fathom what it's like to be somebody else other than yourself, you hate everything else. And you are the minority. Those of you MAGA folks that are throwing comments on my YouTube videos and on my Facebook posts and my Instagram posts and my TikTok, you are the minority. You may be loud, you may be kicking and screaming and angry and just sick and tired of not being listened to like a fucking child, but you are the minority. And come November, you're going to find out. My name is Christopher Hess. Thank you for watching. Go watch the halftime show if you haven't seen it, by the way, and like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Hey, thanks again for watching the Christopher Hess Show. I'm really glad you took the time to watch. Now, if you liked what you saw, you can click right here. This will help you subscribe to my channel, or you can click over here for a video that YouTube thinks is one you would like to watch. Once again, thanks for watching and have a great day.